it is a good day to be a Bitcoiner, because we are now seeing Bitcoin decouple from the stock market, do its own thing, become its own beast, and go buck wild regardless of how red the stock market is. And I think this sort of proves that Bitcoin's not as risky as people think. People sort of see the stock market as a really good savings account. Well, in reality, the stock market is propped up by countries like China. And now that China is basically pulling out of the New York Stock Exchange because they're basically saying, well, stuff you to Trump, we are seeing that it has taken a massive hit. Now, Bitcoin isn't tied to any country or government. It's not tied to a company, and it's not tied to one person. It is the most decentralized money, protocol, and asset there is out there. It is owned more than 70% by individuals and just people like you and I. And we want to keep it that way. So we just want to be buying as much Bitcoin as possible, taking it off the market so that the BlackRocks and Michael Saylors of the world can't keep getting it. We don't want them holding majority of the supply. Now, them holding majority of the supply doesn't necessarily mean they've broken the Bitcoin network or they control the Bitcoin network. That's not how Bitcoin works. It's just more that we want to own the supply as individuals, because we don't want that price manipulation, and we don't want basically them being able to tempt us with driving the prices up or scaring us by driving the prices down. We want to be able to basically have this price go up organically and mass adoptions from individuals, not just these big companies and asset managers. We sort of want to be the ones driving it forward. And I just want to say, get on the train before it's too late, because they are continuing to buy, and they are buying more than I am. So they're going to continue to drive this price like crazy, tempt you, and I just encourage you not to sell. I think you should be adjusting your 12-month plan, adjust it to at least a 5 to 10 year plan, and I think even beyond that. I'm now looking 20, 30 years ahead and trying to go, I need to get as much of this as possible, because there's only going to be about 5% of Bitcoin mined for the next 100 years. And so the supply increase over the next 100 years is so small, and it's going to be less than probably 2 million left that people can buy in that total time. And that's going to be on the exchanges, people selling, so you'll be able to buy what people sell, or you can buy from the exchange, that's whatever's available. And then the rest will be mined, which is such a small amount. It's only 450 Bitcoin a day, and then that is going to drop to 225 at the next halving, which is now less than 4 years away. So yeah, time is running out. I think it's game over once Bitcoin sort of reaches 1 million, because after that, every man and his dog will either have it or want to have it. And I think right now, well, it's something that's not widely talked about or widely owned, it's a good time to get in now. So I think it's still sort of year one, as we've seen ETFs roll in last year, and we've seen companies like Michael Saylor step up and start buying this onto their balance sheet as a publicly traded company. So it's sort of year one of Bitcoin in some sense. Mass adoption, I say. So yeah, sell your stocks, sell your gold, sell your houses, sell everything you have, and buy Bitcoin. Sounds a bit extreme, but yeah, if you're holding any assets as an investment, keep what you need, but the rest sell and get into Bitcoin, because it's going to outperform all of those. And if anything, it is the most least risky asset, because it cannot just be debased, and it cannot just be made more of or printed. It is something that has a fixed supply, and that's the first time in history. So yeah, there's some volatility, but if you can just zoom out, look at the long run, it's going to outperform anything else you own. So yeah, buy Bitcoin, continue to stack sats, get as much as you can. The price is still cheap. And yeah, thanks guys.